Hello?
Hey, what's up? I'm still being weird, still being kooky. What I'm all about. All right. So last was Sophris and Jordan. Once again, I'm Jeff, El Jefe Tacoma. You're listening to it. You're watching it. You know what's going on. Chapter 38, Portillion. They'd moved Portillion to a small cell to recuperate and recover from the shock of nearly dying. He'd experienced such massive trauma since his trip to Antares. They'd brought him his books, stationery, as well as anything else he asked for, within reason. His tiny cell was soon full to bursting with books and other assorted implements of study. The spirit mother called to him, her voice low and growling. She'd seduced him even before she was out of the ground. Her terrible visage burned into his mind long before they unwrapped her in the Horace's cargo hold. Why had she chosen him? He was nothing special. A quick study, perhaps, a talented young magician. But he was no great figure. He came from no great line of heroes. He was expected to spend much of his life away from his family. He was trained to collect powerful artifacts, to catalog them, to ensure they were not put to evil purposes. He was no less or better than any other young wizard. So why did she focus on him? He wanted to call his mother, to convince her he was safe, but he couldn't. Joran had said he was in grave danger, and they couldn't take any chances of his location being exposed. Someone knocked at the door. Portillion? It was Ayana. Come in. She stepped inside, followed by Joran. Hey, kid. How you feeling? Joran leaned against the wall, looking out the small window. Ayana moved to sit next to the young man. Portillion pointed at the books. I'm trying to find out why this is happening. To find some spell, some means of uncovering why this statue is so important. Do you think they might let me see it? Good. That's good, wizard. She was back, whispering in his mind the way a serpent might slither below one's bed. He tried to shut her out. Ayana dodged the question. Portillion, you're agitated. Is something bothering you? Ayana's tone was gentle, maternal. Portillion didn't like keeping secrets from his friends, but he had to hide the creature's existence. He couldn't risk his friends being made a target. He didn't think she would harm them, but he wasn't completely sure. No, Blessed Mother, nothing besides those people trying to kill me. Joran chuckled. Welcome to hero life, son. This old galaxy wants to kill us. Most people are threatened by those that choose to do good. Ayana shook her head. That's not fair, Joran. There are a great many people of goodwill in the galaxy. Our task is only to defend them until they are ready and able to defend themselves. Joran pondered. It's a nice thought, Your Mercy. A nice thought. He sat against the desk, quickly scanning any exposed writing during his analysis of the room's threat zones. Portillion, do me a favor. Stay away from the windows. Sophris tells me there's a possible sniper walking around out there. Ayana looked horrified. Her demeanor turned on a dime. That is unacceptable. I will not allow our guests to live in fear. Shireen, come to me. She jumped to her feet, the vein in her forehead growing in size. Jorn gripped her by the arms and leaned in close. Ayana, stop. We can't lose our heads. That's what they want. She studied his face, her nostrils flaring. Shireen stepped in, clearly alarmed. Ayana raised her voice. Inform the temple we need more guards. I want a defensive perimeter as far as can be achieved. Hire more guards if you must. Shireen moved to leave. You will interview each guard to ensure they can be trusted. You have my blessing. Shireen dipped her head and left, quietly shutting the door behind her. Ayana looked up at Joran. I refuse to be intimidated. What is the point of having power if one is afraid to use it? Another good question, Joran mused. After she left, he got to work. Tell me, Portillion, what else did you uncover at that dig site? Joran's a top quality investigator, baby. I love these fucking people. This is great. Is there anything else? Portillion, he called her the spirit mother. I'm not sure about that one because he has a real mother. So why call that thing a spirit mother? Whatever. Chapter 39, Grundle. The media was everywhere. Grundle took Torvald and his cameraman with him. Ayana's guardians surrounded them in a tight phalanx, armed with powered shields and large caliber firearms. He wished he felt safer, but he didn't. He imagined he might never feel safe again. He stood at the front steps and looked out over the street. He scanned every face in the crowd, wondering, is that the assassin? Her? Him? That shape over there? Perhaps in that carriage there's a bomb. Will this be my last speech? Oh well, time to work. Grundle tapped a button on his forearm control unit, amplifying the sound of his voice. Yesterday, myself and several others were the victims of a brutal and senseless attack. If not for the quick action of the Daughters of Mercy, my friend Portillion would surely have died. I have one thing to say to these cowards. Portillion DeVere lives. You may have killed 2 of ours. We killed 3 of yours. And this is how this will go. I tell you directly, scum, you will never defeat us. You will never defeat us because truth will always win. The twin virtues of compassion and justice will always, always carry the day. We will find you in your filthy lairs. We will find you in your boardrooms and your front businesses. We will find you wherever you hide. And know this, we will end your dark designs. We will destroy you completely and utterly. And only if you surrender to the mercy of Zora, peace and blessings be upon her, will you ever have a chance at redemption. Deliver yourselves and your paymasters, or face the divine hammer of justice. If need be, I will wield it myself. With that, he wheeled around and walked back into the office, cameras flashing, reporters shouting out questions. Grundle ain't taking your shit. I love a good speech. That was fun. Chapter 40. The call out was complicated. Jorn had to go to a secure location, call a random voicemail line, leave a vaguely coded message and a return number, tied to a burner device, of course, and wait. 20 minutes later, he had his response. He read the message to Ayana in a low voice. Maki Samuda, age 27. Born to poor Yafriti parents in Calustria's scouring district. Removed from the home at age 11. Bounced around the foster care system until 17, when she disappeared from the record. Suspected of several violent crimes, but nothing's ever been proven. Arrived at Antares Asteroid Base 1 for a job in SSC security. Then she came to us. We were given a dossier on her that we now know was doctored, possibly by the director himself. Since the attack, we've learned many of her transgressions were likely made at the behest of a criminal gang known as the Gulls. She's been outfitted with several cybernetic enhancements, including cyber eyes, audio, at least one cyber leg, and some sort of skin-altering enhancement that greatly enhances her natural talent for disguise. In short, she's the perfect killer. Joran let out a low whistle. Ayana snorted audibly. Really? So he hires a killer to be a cop and we're supposed to trust his assessment? Put me in a ring with her and we'll see how perfect she is. Fuck this. She was pissed. Joran waited. Ayana's nostrils fumed. She was gripping the side of a desk, her knuckles white, a thick muscle in her neck flexing. No, I'm not going to shut up. I'm going to tell this jackass to his face what I think of him. Get him on the line. She flashed her eyes at him, her upper lip shuddering. Do it! Joran spoke carefully. Your mercy. This is a secret communication. Captain Hitaki is off the grid. I wouldn't try to reach him even if I could. Just asking for this information may have put him and his resistance at risk. Truthfully, we don't even know if the Conclave has any plans to retake Antares in the near future. He may already be dead. She started to speak, then shut her lips and slumped back into her chair. She was so tired. Joran knelt down at her feet, his knees screaming in agony. He hid his pain the way he always did, with a stern expression and a steely reserve, the merest micro-expressions of discomfort flashing across his features. He touched her hand. Ayana, we will find this woman. She will be punished. And Creel? We'll get him. God's my witness, I've only ever lost one contract. And technically, that one's still ongoing. Ayana gets pissed. Oh, shit. I feel like there should be more at that chapter. I'm going to make a note. Like, that's a weird place to end that chapter. More! Exclamation point. Grundle. Chapter 41. Grundle. Damn it, Grundle, you've really stepped in it. San Demon was a mess. He looked like he hadn't slept in weeks. His military jacket was over the back of a chair. his collar rumpled, his distinguished white hair sticking every which way. Grundle grunted. The captain was a pawn. Grundle had no reason to placate him anymore. The captain continued. Seriously, man, you need to talk to someone before you go antagonizing these people. What if they run now that you've called them out? What if the Avanti had them cornered, and this gives them the chance they need to drift away into the shadows? Consider reason. Grundle looked at him balefully. Reason? What reason has the Avanti for helping us? Had she done her job, maybe a dozen people wouldn't be dead or maimed. Maybe if you'd been in charge of security, we wouldn't have nearly lost Portillion. The captain marched around the room. Your concerns are valid, of course, but we are here at the behest of the Avanti, and she is in control. It's terrible that people have died. Our people! Our people, yes, but consider this. You are now free to travel within the walls of the Department of the Faith. One more step, and we will be in the presence of the artifact. A few moves after that, and we'll be able to go home as champions. Isn't that an exciting prospect? Grundle scoffed. Respectfully, Captain, serving the Avanti is the last thing on my list. Serving our attackers with painful deaths is at the top. The captain's eyes widened, then settled into a sympathetic crease. You're angry. I understand that. But the Avanti is not your enemy. If you work with her, she can help you do both. Grundle wasn't a killer, but occasionally he had flashes of wanting to be, if only so he wouldn't have to listen to fools like Sandemon prattle on. How easy would it be to just heft him up and toss him out the window? Easy as pie. So what now? Ask her beloved majesty to take out the assassins? Grundle said. The captain stopped pacing. Yes, absolutely. That is a capital idea. I'll see what I can do. The cruiser will be here within the day, and who knows how many resources it will have. Grundle sighed. Sandemon was a military man. He knew feints and parries, sally gates, and backdoor pincer movements. He knew next to nothing, however, about thievery, spycraft, or murder. He'd never generaled an army or conspired to overthrow a government. He was an honorable man, and honorable men don't employ the services of the Shadowin. But the Avanti, she was a different story. Very well. Set up a meeting. For all of us. Sandemon nodded and left. Grundle took a swig of brandy and contemplated going back to sleep. So, Sandemon still thinks Grundle's working for the Avanti. Grundle thinks maybe she can help them, but who knows? Maybe she's involved. Like, yeah, everybody's angry or confused or both. I guess I'll shut it down there. I'm enjoying this so much. It's really getting good. All right, folks. Reach me on Twitter at El Jefe Tacoma or for the show at EIA Podcast. Send me an email. Everything is awesome podcast at gmail.com. Rate, review, subscribe, listen to all my damn shows. Be a part of the action. Sinister Parent Company. That's my podcast network. Get into it, baby. Peace.